This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
It has been the honor of a lifetime to serve as Attorney General for the last 4 years, and it is an incredible privilege to have the opportunity to continue serving over the course of the next 4 years.
The community chose not to choose that path, but ultimately this was really the last opportunity that I see, unless something radically changes, to build a new high school at the new site.
Are looking forward to supporting families with kids or even the parents with coats this upcoming season. It is crucial because we have brutal winters in this area.
The unique location also has us surrounded by neighborhoods on almost all sides. So not only can we connect throughout the property, but we can connect to other trail systems and other neighborhoods throughout the community.
That is a preview of what we got coming up for you here on this Thursday morning, on this November 10th, 2022. I'm Jordan Fremstad.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
Well, Derek, a little bit gloomier this week than what we had been used to earlier in the week.
Right.
But how long will the rain last, do you think?
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to start here around the early afternoon hours and maybe even as early as late this morning, Jordan, and then pretty much continue until around, let's say, about 2 or 3 p.m. or so before it starts winding down here this evening. Now, as of right now, though, it's not too active. It's looking a bit cloudy outside now. We are watching some showers here back towards the west over eastern Minnesota, which is forecast to move east and affect us here later today. Current temperature readings are mainly into the mid-60s, so very warm start this morning with 65 currently in La Crosse, but a bit warmer here at the moment in Eau Claire. You're currently at 66, but Black River Falls is at 67 degrees. Really doesn't matter where you are because it's a huge difference here over the last 24 hours. Once again, we are very warm or warmer here this morning, at least by about 10 to 20 degrees. A check now on your day planner for today does show us that we will be remaining cloudy through the morning, and then by the late morning hours, we start to tap into some of those showers moving in from the west, and that will transition to lead to some showers and thunderstorms by noon and also around the late afternoon hours. And we could be looking at some of those thunderstorms turning even strong to severe here, Jordan. So we'll talk about that here in just a bit. And also keep in mind that our high temperatures can be very warm, 70 degrees today.
Wow. All right. Thanks a lot for that update, Derek. At his trial on Wednesday morning, Sean Hawk pleaded not guilty to all charges related to the death of 32-year-old Sarah Latimer. Latimer was found dead on May 10th in Sparta. Hawk is charged with first-degree intentional homicide and multiple counts of repeated domestic abuse. After a pretrial conference in December, Hawk's next appearance in court is scheduled for March 13th of next year. Also in court on Wednesday, Adam Anderson was sentenced to 4 years in prison after driving drunk and killing Winona State University student Hannah Goldman. The crash happened in February. Anderson was driving the wrong way on Highway 61 and hit another car. Goldman was a passenger in that car and died at the scene. Goldman was a sophomore, a WSU student. On Wednesday afternoon, Northside Elementary School staff called police after seeing a verbal fight break out between students and people across the street. Callers told police they thought they saw a gun. La Crosse police officers and school resource officers responded while staff secured students in the building. Once on the scene, officers found 2 people under the age of 18. 1 person was arrested, and the police did not find a weapon. Police are working with Youth Justice on referrals for charges. The investigation is ongoing. It was one of the most expensive referendums on the November ballot. La Crosse voters rejected the nearly $195 million school referendum. News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke to the superintendent, who says he's not sure what to do next.
La Crosse voters headed to the polls.
It was great to see in numbers what we had been hearing.
To deliver a blow to the school district of La Crosse.
This was really the last opportunity that I see, unless something radically changes.
69% of voters rejected the school district of La Crosse's referendum.
The community chose not to choose that path.
The district wanted to consolidate La Crosse's 2 high schools into 1 new building on the former train site. Many community members spoke out against the proposal. Vote No Representative Vicki Markison says the referendum was rushed.
This isn't saying no to education, it's just saying not this plan.
The school district already made a $300,000 down payment. Superintendent Aaron Engel says it's unlikely the district will get a refund.
The amount of money is relatively small considering the price of the property, and more importantly, given the opportunity that presented to our community.
On the one hand, they're telling teachers they can't pay for raises, and then they pay this money. So optically, it just looks really challenging.
Engel says although he's disappointed, the district is looking forward to creating a new plan.
Regroup, reassess, to think about our path forward. This election has given us new information to work with.
Markison says she wants the district to include every voice in the community.
These are very diverse voices, and we need to make sure that it's all incorporated into a new plan.
Reporting in La Crosse, Thua Estrar, News 8 Now.
In a statement to News 8 Now, the Vote Yes group said while they are also disappointed, they'll support the district as they regroup and move forward. After a long and close race to unseat Republican Senator Ron Johnson, Democrat Mandela Barnes has officially conceded defeat at a press conference in Milwaukee on Wednesday afternoon, the same location where he launched his campaign. Barnes thanked voters for their support and called on Wisconsinites to keep fighting for change.
This is not the time for us to tune out. It's the time for us to double down. It's the time for us to show up like we've never shown up before, to make sure that Ron Johnson, every political leader, knows that they answer to every person in Wisconsin, not just the people that voted for him.
Senator Johnson will now enter his third term. The Republican candidate for La Crosse County Sheriff is not conceding. With 100% of precincts reporting, Fritz Leinfelter trails Democrat John Siegel by 175 votes. The results are unofficial. The county still needs to conduct its official canvass and certify results. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers celebrated his second term with re-election well after his watch party. Wednesday afternoon, the Democrat tweeted he is still jazzed as hell. The governor defeated Republican Tim Michels. In his victory speech, Governor Evers said voters supported his fight for reproductive rights, and his win shows that voters want to protect democracy.
There are issues that transcend politics, and I'm representative of and leader of a great state, a resilient state, and I take the input from people that voted for me and those that didn't vote for me equally important.
Democrat Josh Kaul says his push to restore abortion rights in Wisconsin was likely a major factor in his re-election. Kaul won a second term as Wisconsin's Attorney General. He defeated Republican challenger Eric Toney. The race was defined by sharp differences over abortion and attacks over crime and election administration.
It has been the honor of a lifetime to serve as Attorney General for the last 4 years, and it is an incredible privilege to have the opportunity to continue serving over the course of the next 4 years.
Toney told his supporters around 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning that he called Kaul to concede. Republican Derek Van Orden won an unexpectedly close race for Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district. He defeated Democrat Brad Papp by 4%. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen explains what the results mean moving forward.
The race was so close, Derek Van Orden didn't claim victory for Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district until well after midnight.
I will not give up the values that the people of the 3rd District of Wisconsin understand that I hold and share with them, and that's why they voted me into office.
Van Orden's win didn't come as a surprise, but the margin of just 4% did.
4 points is enough where you could imagine this race potentially turning out differently.
Paff tells News 8 Now that he's thankful for the voters' support. He wasn't surprised that his race was close.
Too many political pundits had made a decision what was going to happen in this race before the voters had the opportunity to cast their own ballot.
Western Wisconsin is unpredictable, and that from election to election, the vote in Western Wisconsin can change.
Derek Van Orden campaigned as the face for that change.
It doesn't matter where you start in this country, you can achieve your goals. you can aspire.
He ran for that same seat just 2 years ago, losing to Ron Kind.
Where Brad Pfaff not only had to get through a competitive process to win the party's nomination, but then he had to try to introduce himself to the voters in this district. And oh yeah, he also had to do that without much support from his political party.
Van Orden raised significantly more money, and in the weeks leading up to Election Day, the National Democratic Party pulled funding from Pfaff's campaign.
I would have won this race if there would have been greater resources placed into this campaign.
Van Orden steps into the seat that has not been red for 26 years.
This represents a change in party control for this district, and that'll have an effect on public policy in this area.
We have to get back to the place where we represent everyone.
And his constituents will be watching. In La Crosse, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
During his victory speech, Van Orden expressed his desire to get to work and pass term limits in Congress. Pfaff says that for now he plans to spend time with his family and continue to represent his constituents as Wisconsin State Senator. Well, still to come here on your Thursday morning news, with the Thanksgiving holiday right around the corner and inflation here, it's leaving consumers wondering, will the holiday meal cost me? And the Salvation Army makes one final push to keep kids warm this upcoming winter. With that in mind, we send you to break with something to put the good in your Thursday morning. Italy is discovering ancient history. Archaeologists have uncovered more than 24 preserved bronze statues dating back to the ancient Roman times. The statues were discovered in thermal baths in a hilltop town in Tuscany. Now, the top culture ministry official is calling it one of the most remarkable discoveries in the history of ancient Mediterranean. Pretty cool to see that. It's 11 after the hour. We've got your latest forecast coming up right after the break.
That was a very cloudy look there from City Cam 8, showing the clouds here that continue to move in from the west. Also watching some showers and thunderstorms to the west of us as well that will begin to push our way here in the Coulee region later today. Current temperature readings are into the mid-60s. It's a fairly mild start this morning with 65 in La Crosse and 66 degrees to the north in Eau Claire. Now your zone forecast today is going to be much warmer as highs will climb into those upper 60s to low 70s with good chances of showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon in many spots there, as you can see. It will be about 70 today in Soldiers Grove, by the way. But meanwhile, 69 in Trempealeau, 68 today in Warrens, and 68 in Melrose today, 67 in Osseo. Highs reaching 67 in both Durand and Eau Claire today, looking at 67 in Fall Creek, and 67 degrees with showers and storms in Augusta as well. Looking at 65 for the bus stop this morning, looking cloudy as well, with some scattered showers and storms arriving around the lunch hour. It will be 66 degrees, and then watch out for some more thunderstorms this afternoon around dismissal time. Temperatures at around 70. I'll be back with a check on the weather forecast still to come.
Adidas says it plans to sell more Yeezy products next year, but under a different name. The German sportswear company cut ties with Kanye West last month over his anti-Semitic comments. Ye owns the trademark for the name Yeezy, but Adidas says it owns the designs. The company projected it would lose close to $250 million in revenue this year following the split from the Grammy Award winner. A day after Zoom announced a partnership with AMC Theaters, it says it's joining forces with Tesla. The company announced that soon all new Tesla models will combine with the ability to connect to Zoom. The partnership was unveiled at the annual Zoomtopia conference. The CEO of the social media platform Mastodon says it now has over 1 million active monthly users. That's nearly double the number of German-based platform says it had just before Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter a couple of weeks ago. Mastodon, which cannot be sold to a single entity or person, has been considered as an alternative to Twitter, which still has over 230 million active daily users. With just over 2 weeks until Thanksgiving, many Americans have already started shopping for their holiday events. While higher prices at the grocery store are expected, it can still leave a foul taste in a consumer's mouth. Janet Shamlian from CBS has more.
These are the last of more than 6,000 turkeys Kyle Becker raised on his rural Indiana farm this year.
So these are broad-breasted white.
Even though he's now charging more for these pasture-raised birds, his earnings will be half of last year.
What are you facing in raising turkeys?
Feed is up, labor's up, processing. Even the boxes that we put the turkeys in have increased in price.
Turkey prices are flying high. The average price of a whole frozen bird is $2.45 a pound, 70 cents higher per pound than in 2021. A combination of inflation and bird flu, which wiped out more than 7 million turkeys nationwide.
How big of a hit has it taken?
Well, turkey production's down about 5% this year over the total year.
Grocers still offer bargain birds to get shoppers in the door. But other essentials are up. Eggs more than 30% from last year. Butter more than 26%. And baked goods like pumpkin pie more than 20%. At Regal's Barbecue in Katy, Texas, there's a bounty of brisket. But Russell Regal says he can't get turkey breasts.
We ordered 200 cases in September and we got about 50, and then we're told that that's all we're going to get for the rest of the year.
How to save if you're willing to wait until the last minute.
Like last year, the day before Thanksgiving, there were some pretty good deals there.
How much does she weigh?
25 pounds.
Okay. Free-range turkeys like these at Becker Farms do cost more. Father of 5 Kyle Becker works a second job as a veterinarian to make ends meet, as higher costs ruffle feathers for farmers and the rest of us.
Now, another tip is to try to cut down your guest list, but with so many family members and friends you want to see, it may be a bigger overall cost that you'll just have to eat.
Well, things are definitely looking cloudy here from City Cam 8 facing downtown La Crosse, and be ready because more clouds that will lead to showers and storms here later today. But as of right now, it's 65 degrees in La Crosse as far as the temperature goes. It's 64 though downtown. We're looking at a river stage currently of 5.38 feet and it rising. In Eau Claire, you're looking cloudy as well, 66 being the temperature with a light south wind to work with at around 8 miles an hour. Temperatures across the rest of the area very mild, mainly into those mid to upper 60s. In fact, we're not too far off from 70, but it's currently 68 though if you're in Winona this morning. About 10 to 20 degrees warmer here as you head out the door, so you'll definitely notice it as you get ready here for that morning commute with some scattered thunderstorms possible around the noon hour. Some showers are still likely by 4, 62 degrees, and then partly cloudy skies as temperatures will quickly drop to 43 by early this evening around 8 p.m. So we are currently watching those showers and storms, but they're mainly back to the west of us right now, not yet currently affecting us, but we are looking at some pretty cloudy weather conditions though out ahead of this trough of low pressure back towards the west, which not only is going to give us showers and storms today, but also it's going to give us a very warm south wind to work with. Now don't get quite used to that because on the very back side of that system is some very cold air that exists, and that is expected to move in later this week to help cool us down. But out ahead of that trough, though, we are looking at a pretty good chance, or at least somewhat of a chance, I should say, of some severe weather. Now, the good news is that this risk here from yesterday has been downgraded from a slight to a marginal risk, which means that isolated strong to severe storms are possible now with gusty winds and small hail, mainly during the afternoon hours. And you'll see that here on Sky Tracker. As a matter of fact, those showers here begin to develop and move their way across the area, and a couple of thunderstorms do develop here during the early afternoon hours, and especially around the 4 o'clock hour as that front begins to move through. We could be looking at a linear fashion of some showers and storms kind of moving through portions of our central and eastern zones before clearing out as we head into the evening, and then followed by cloudy skies as we head into tonight. And then we're going to start off tomorrow looking mainly cloudy as well, but notice the winds here coming out of the northwesterly direction. That's going to help cool us down along with some cloud cover here throughout the day. So we expect temperatures to drop, as a matter of fact, into the 30s starting Friday. Continue into this weekend and also into much of next week. Our highs are going to be feeling a lot like wintertime with highs in the 30s and lows into the 20s. Stay with us though. We're back with much more news and weather still to come right here on News 8 Now this morning. We are though taking a very quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We are looking at cloudy weather conditions that continue to pour across the Coulee region from the west. Also watching some showers and storms now developing to our west over Minnesota, and that is going to be moving our way here later today. Temperatures are currently well into those mid to upper 60s this morning. If you plan on walking out the dog here for the morning hours, it is looking cloudy, but keep in mind, watch out for some scattered thunderstorms though come this afternoon with a few lingering showers that also could last as well into the evening hours too. I'll be back with a check on your commute forecast. That's next in weather.
Welcome to the Blitz. On to the next level. Many high school athletes all throughout the Coulee region have devoted most of their lives to their respective sports. A lot of them have dreams of playing at the collegiate level, and yesterday many of those athletes turning those dreams into reality. Let's start at Aquinas High School. Family, friends, teammates, coaches all gathering inside the Blue Gold's gym to celebrate Aquinas' Macy Dinarski. The senior will be heading out west. Dinarski signing her letter of intent to play Division I basketball for the University of Montana. Huge accomplishment for the senior. Dinarski still has one season left with the Blue Golds, but she tells me she's looking forward to taking that next step.
This has been a dream of mine to be able to play Division I basketball since ever since I can remember. So it is a really surreal feeling for me, and I'm really thankful to be surrounded by such great people that have helped me get to where I am.
All right, let's head to Westby. Big night for the Norseman senior Jada Berg. The Westby standout excelled at both softball, most recently volleyball. Berg leading her squad to a regional championship. Norsemen were just one win away from a state tournament appearance, but now Berg sets her sights on the future. The senior signing her letter of intent to play both volleyball and softball at Winona State. We're excited to get a chance to cover those games and watch Berg compete at the next level. Big night for one of the best in the state. Prairie du Chine's Rhett Koenig had a standout high school career, three-time Division II state wrestling champion during his time at PEC, and now the senior is taking that next step. Koenig signing his letter of intent on Wednesday to join the wrestling team at the University of Minnesota. So big congrats to the newest Gopher. Best of luck to Rhett for such an awesome accomplishment. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, UK nurses to strike for the first time in union's 106-year history. Britain's largest nursing union has voted to take nationwide strike action for the first time in that 106-year history. Strikes will take place at the NHS. The nurses strike over pay levels and patient safety concerns. The union represents nearly 500,000 nurses in the UK. Climate protesters glued themselves to an Andy Warhol painting at the National Art Gallery of Australia in Canberra on Wednesday. Now, the latest of activist demonstrations in art galleries around the world. The National Gallery of Australia declined to comment on whether the painting was damaged. Climate activists worldwide are using demonstrations in front of famous artworks to draw attention to their causes. Thousands of people flocked to Thailand on Tuesday to release thousands of lanterns into the sky to celebrate the annual Thai Festival of Lights. The festival marked the end of the monsoon season and the beginning of the cool season. Now, the releasing of the lantern in the night of a full moon is a symbol of letting go of misfortunes and welcoming good luck in the coming year. Now, this year's festival goers were also treated to a view of a total lunar eclipse. Respiratory illnesses are making the rounds just in time for the holiday season, but after several years apart, families are ready to gather again. Naomi Ruckham tells us how experts say we can all gather safely this year.
Just weeks until Thanksgiving, families are finalizing their holiday plans.
Christmas will probably be small as well still, but we're all vaccinated and boosted. We're just trying to keep everyone safe.
With COVID, there were still so many unknowns the few years back, but here it's nice to be able to look forward to gathering for the holidays.
But with flu, COVID, and RSV all circulating, doctors caution any gathering requires thought and preparation.
I think it's really all about your tolerance for risk, right? There is no such thing as a risk-free gathering.
Dr. Helen Boucher is the dean of Tufts Medical School and says right now, the best thing you can do for your family is get the flu vaccine and the latest COVID booster.
It takes about 2 weeks for the immune system to fully respond and for you to have that protection. So now is the time if you want to have that protection in time for Thanksgiving.
Perhaps the most important advice of all, stay home if you don't feel well to keep everyone safe and healthy, especially loved ones who are older or have weaker immune systems.
We hear stories of vulnerable people becoming ill when a family member or friend came to an event with symptoms. So very, very important to think about others.
Opening the windows at large indoor family gatherings for better ventilation can also reduce risk. Guests can test for COVID for an extra layer of protection. That's the plan for Forbes Lynch and his family.
Based on my personal experiences, I happen to be on the testing side. I would like to know ahead of time and take the precautions.
So everyone can have a safe and healthy start to the new year.
Experts also recommend that those who are at high risk for respiratory complications wear masks at large indoor family gatherings. Cases for RSV are rising nationally and in western Wisconsin. The Gunderson Health System Pediatric Unit is nearly full of kids battling the virus. Hospitalists also say they're treating cases of RSV in older kids. The virus usually affects 1 to 2-year-olds, but the La Crosse Hospital is also treating 3-year-olds. Doctors say it could be an after effect of the pandemic.
Children are back in daycare and back in schools, and so they're getting exposed to things that they haven't been yet. And those older kids, those 3-year-olds and such, they really just haven't been exposed to anything. So their immune system is a little bit more immature than we would expect it to be.
Hennessy says RSV affects adults less often because we have larger airways and previous exposures, but adults can pass on RSV to younger kids. Experts say the best way to help is to wash your hands and stay home when you're sick, and to wear a mask outside of your home if you have cold symptoms. Gunderson Health System is starting a new partnership, increasing access to needed services. Gunderson joined Hazelden Betty Ford's Patient Care Network. Gunderson employees are hopeful the partnership will help the community gain better access to addiction and mental health treatments, along with education.
We saw this as an opportunity to understand what other types of addiction care is going on in the world and ways that we can grow as an organization and to better serve our community.
Hazelden says employees can now assist Gunderson providers with services and consultations. An Iowa woman celebrated her 115th birthday on Monday, making her now the oldest person in the United States. Bessie Hendricks has lived through 21 presidents, 2 world wars, a depression, and the sinking of the Titanic, along with 2 Chicago Cubs World Series championships. Andrew Mullenbeck has more.
For a 115th birthday, it's best not to have all the candles on the cake, but no extra frills are needed when celebrating such a special moment with all her surviving kids at her side.
How old are you, Mom?
The eldest of those is Joan Schaefer, who just celebrated her 90th birthday a day earlier.
I don't know how you can put it into words. It's marvelous that we still have her.
They all have the same description of their mom, hardworking, and a lot was asked of Bessie from an early age.
Her mother died when she was about 13. I think Mom was about 13 years old, and she raised her siblings after that. And then when she taught school, she lived right across the road from where she taught school, so she had no reason not to go to make it to school.
Happy birthday!
The Shady Oaks Care Center hosted the rare birthday party with employees helping celebrate. And it's understandable to be a little tired at 115, but her children sang her favorite song.
You make me happy when the skies are gray. She loves to sing. Like I say, we used to wheel her around here in Shady Oaks, and every room we'd stop at, she'd still sing, "You Are My Sunshine." And I think the residents look forward to it every day, too.
This time, Bessie got to be the audience to her favorite song, a special moment in a special life.
She was always caring about her family. She always did that. Family came first, Mom. Always.
And that's the most important thing as well. It's so awesome to see that. Well, besides being the oldest American, according to the genealogy research group, Hendricks is the 10th oldest person right now living in the world. Pretty amazing stuff. Well, students in La Crosse will get more help learning theatrical arts. The La Crosse Community Foundation, in partnership with the La Crosse Community Theater, are now funding a fellow position. The theater educator will help with theater productions at all La Crosse schools. Educators say theater education teaches so much more than just being comfortable in front of a crowd.
It includes band when you do a musical and you have a live pit. It includes choir when you do a musical and you have kids singing on stage. It includes art when you're making sets and painting the great sets that we see on our stages. It includes tech ed when we're building the sets. It includes math, science, reading. It really is all-encompassing.
La Crosse Community Theater leaders say they hope to expand the district's theater education programs in the near future. La Crosse's Community Thanksgiving Dinner Crew is looking for volunteers. The 40th dinner will be held at the La Crosse Center. It is free and open to the public. Dine-in and carry-out and delivery options are available. Local schools also will be helping make pies and cards. Organizers need more help and say everyone is welcome to lend a hand.
This dinner is for everyone to come down, and we would love to see everyone come down for it, regardless of what your stature in life is.
Doors open at 10 in the morning. The non-denominational worship service starts at 10:30. The meal will be served from 11 until 3 in the afternoon. From gloves and mittens to warm coats, La Crosse's Salvation Army needs your donations. The Salvation Army is making one final push for its annual Coats for Kids drive. These coats will go to kids of all ages, from newborn all the way up to age 18. According to the Salvation Army, these donations are essential.
We're looking forward to supporting families with kids or even the parents with coats this upcoming season. It is crucial because we have brutal winters in this area.
A distribution day is next Friday from 8 until 4. A La Crosse organization wants the community to get on their feet. The Outdoor Recreation Alliance, also known as ORA Trails, is working with contractors to create a community trail farm. The project has one simple mission: to get people outside. The $6 million campaign will build a network of connected trails near the town of Shelby to make hiking and other outdoor activities more accessible.
The unique location also has us surrounded by neighborhoods on almost all sides. So not only can we connect throughout the property, but we can connect to other trail systems and other neighborhoods throughout the community.
ORA Trails has not officially bought the land for the project. They plan to use grants and private donations to fund the trail farm.
Looking a little cloudy here this morning across much of the Coulee region, but we're also watching some showers and storms here towards the west that are firing up and moving east. We'll keep our eyes on those, but temperatures across much of the area are into the 60s. 65 in La Crosse now, 66 in Eau Claire. We got 65 degrees currently in Sparta this morning. Your forecast today does call for some showers and thunderstorms here this afternoon, and then by tonight we're going to be looking at cloudy conditions with 28 degrees being the temperature. So overall much colder here as well, with a slight chance of a shower still left over, and west-northwest winds at around 10 to 20 miles an hour here as well. For your drivecast, though, things again looking cloudy here to start, and then we're watching out for a couple of thunderstorms that could fire up here for the lunch hour, and a few lingering showers here as we head into your evening commute hours as well. But stay tuned. I'll have a final check on your full weather forecast. That's still to come next in weather. Jordan?
Thanks a lot, Derek. Whitney Houston's Life and Music are about to play on the silver screen. We have that and more in our Buzz Report coming up after the break. It is 6:43 here on this Thursday morning. We'll be right back right after this.
Cloudy weather conditions now from La Crosse, as you can see there from City Cam 8. And we're also looking at a temperature of 65 degrees at the airport, but maybe slightly cooler at 64 downtown. We do have a south-southeast wind that we're working with at around 9 miles an hour. That south wind is important to really keep us warm, which we'll get to here in a second. But Eau Claire, you're also looking cloudy. It's 66 and pretty mild here for you. South winds light at around 8 miles an hour. In Volkfield, you're at 64. Black River Falls at 67. Winona is at 68 degrees. So much of the area is looking very warm. And speaking of warm, that's what we got going on as far as our temperature change map, showing us about 10 to 20 degrees of a warmer difference as you head out the door this morning. Daycast today showing that we will be running into thunderstorms by around noon today, 66 degrees, and then some leftover showers, 58 degrees by 5. And you can see how fast those temperatures drop throughout the day, 40 degrees, mostly cloudy by 9 p.m. this evening. So here's what's going on right now locally. We have the cloud cover that continues to move through. We're keeping our eyes on some showers and some thunderstorms off to the west of us right now. They are moving their way towards the east in the general direction here of the Cooley region, and that's really out ahead of this trough of low pressure that we're keeping our eyes on, because not only is that system going to be responsible today for bringing us the cloud cover and the chance of showers and thunderstorms, but also out ahead of it, very warm air out ahead of the system as we are looking at a south wind here in place. But we're also keeping our eyes on the cold air here on the back side of that storm system, and that's really going to be dropping down our temperatures quite a bit. But before we get to the temperatures, though, I want to talk about a little bit more what's happening out ahead of the system. And again, it's the shower and thunderstorm threat that we're watching, and some of those thunderstorms that develop could contain some gusty winds and some small hail this afternoon. But the good news here is that we have been downgraded now to a level 1 marginal risk. Now that means that isolated strong to severe thunderstorms are still possible here in the Cooley region, but at least that's a better update here for you compared to what happened yesterday when we were under that slight risk of severe weather. So again, you can see the cloud cover continues throughout the day. A couple of light showers here are possible, and then scattered showers and storms fire up this afternoon. And you can see a line of thunderstorms here containing that gusty wind and hail threat around the 4 p.m. hour across our central and eastern zones, and then that clears out here as we head into the early evening. Now by tonight we will be looking pretty cloudy, though. The cloud cover is expected to last into much of the day, if not all day tomorrow. And at the same time, it's going to be pretty cold. Our high temperatures will only be into the 30s starting Friday through this weekend and also into much of next week. And don't forget, you can also download the First Alert Weather app. You can get it for free on the Google Play or the Apple App Store.
In our Buzz Report this morning, coming to the big screen just before Christmas, I Want to Dance with Somebody will let Whitney Houston fans celebrate the singer's music and look back on her rise to superstardom. Houston died in an accidental drowning in a bathtub just over a decade ago at the age of 48. I Want to Dance with Somebody stars with Naomi Ackie as Whitney Houston. Sylvester Stallone puts on a sharp new suit for a starring role in Tulsa King. The mob drama premieres Sunday on Paramount+. Stallone plays a New York Goodfella trying to set up a new life of organized crime in Tulsa, Oklahoma after he is released from prison. Some things to check out there. And with that in mind, we have got a birthday to celebrate this Thursday morning.
That's right. We want to wish a happy 88th birthday to Marlene. Now, she is the great-grandmother of 28. She loves to farm her garden and bake as well.
What, 28?
Isn't that crazy?
Never a dull moment, Marlene, for sure. All right. Well, happy birthday, Marlene. Now, if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80 years old, or 88 years old soon, make sure you let us know.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website. It's news8000.com, and you want to look for the Submit Pictures button. That's under the Home tab on our website.
Well, you know the drill. We've got everything you need to know this morning, plus your latest forecast coming up right after the break. Your morning news now on this Thursday. Cases of RSV are rising nationally and right here in western Wisconsin. The Gunderson Health System Pediatric Unit is nearly full of kids battling the virus. Hospitalists also say they are treating cases of RSV in older kids. The virus usually affects 1 to 2-year-olds, but the La Crosse Hospital is also treating 3-year-olds. Doctors say it could be an after effect of the pandemic.
Children are back in daycare and back in schools, and so they're getting exposed to things that they haven't been yet. And those older kids, those 3-year-olds and such, they really just haven't been exposed to anything. So their immune system is a little bit more immature than we would expect it to be.
Hennessy says RSV affects adults less often because we have larger airways and previous exposures, but adults can pass RSV to younger kids. Experts say the best way to help is to wash your hands, stay home when you're sick, and wear a mask outside of your home if you have any cold symptoms. Gunderson Health System is starting a new partnership, increasing access to needed services. Gunderson joined Hazeldine Betty Ford's Patient Care Network. Gunderson employees are hopeful the partnership will help the community gain better access to addiction and mental health treatments along with education.
And we are looking at cloudy skies here to start us off this morning. That should continue through the late morning hours as well before we start to see some showers and thunderstorms develop later this morning and then really continue, especially as we head into the afternoon hours. Some of those thunderstorms could turn strong to severe at times as well. Very warm temperatures as highs will climb into the upper 60s to low 70s.
La Crosse's Community Thanksgiving Dinner Crew is looking for volunteers. The 40th dinner will be held at the La Crosse Center. It is free and open to the public. Dine in and carry out and delivery options are available. Local schools are helping make the pies and cards. Organizers need more help and say everyone is welcome to lend a hand.
This dinner is for everyone to come down, and we would love to see everyone come down for it, regardless of what your stature in life is.
Doors open at 10 in the morning. A non-denominational worship service starts at 10:30, and the meal will be served from 11 until 3 in the afternoon.
And as you head out the door this morning, it's a pretty cloudy start. Temperatures into the 60s, so mild start here as well. Watch out for showers and thunderstorms early this afternoon and later in the afternoon here today as well.
Thanks a lot, Derek, and thank you so much for your time this morning. We really appreciate it. CBS Mornings follows us here. We hope you have a great day.